Good day, everyone. Welcome to Nexus Insights. My name is Emeka Ofoma, and welcome to our special report titled The War Tax: How the Middle East Conflict is Hitting Your Energy Bills. A single strait, just 33 kilometers wide, at its narrowest point, carries 1/5 of the world's oil supply. In March 2026, that strait effectively closed, and within days, the bills arrived not just in the Middle East, but in Berlin, Mumbai, Tokyo, and beyond. When US and Israeli forces struck Iranian territory in late February 2026, and Iran responded with missile strikes and naval harassment, the immediate casualties weren't just military, they were economic. Iran declared the Strait of Hormuz blocked. Major shipping giants Maersk, Hapag-Lloyd, CGM rerouted vessels around the Cape of Good Hope. Over 150 oil tankers sat anchored in the Gulf, going nowhere. War risk insurers cancelled coverage overnight. The result? The phenomenon economists are now calling the war tax, an invisible surcharge on energy that every consumer on earth is quietly being forced to pay. The numbers were staggering and fast. Brent crude jumped nearly 5% on March 5th alone, reaching $85 a barrel. WTI crude surged over 8%. European national gas prices spiked 19% in a single day. Benchmark freight rates for oil tankers, the TD3C routes from the Middle East to Asia, nearly tripled, reaching $12 million per voyage. The war tax doesn't hit everyone equally, but it hits everyone. In Europe, German pump prices climbed 8 to 10% within days. Within the continent, still dependent on Gulf LNG and oil, ECB analysts estimate that an 8% crude surge alone could add up to 0.3 percentage points to Eurozone inflation. Factor in heating costs heading into a cold spring, and the cumulative effort on household bills becomes politically explosive. France and Spain have fuel tax rebates in place, softening the blow slightly, but analysts still project a 0.5 to 1 percentage point rise in headline inflation over the coming months. In India, the finance minister was direct. A 10% crude increase adds roughly 0.3 points to inflation, with oil jumping 20 to 25% in days. The math is becoming uncomfortable. India has partially offset this through fuel tax cuts, but the pressure on its import bill is real. In China, the inflation impact is more contained. Beijing wields price controls and strategic reserves as shock absorbers, but the disruption has accelerated something already in motion. Beijing's 2026 budget, released just few days after the crisis erupted, read almost like a direct answer to it. Record spending on semiconductors, artificial intelligence, advanced manufacturing, and renewable energy, all framed around one concept: self-reliance. China imports 84% of its oil. The vulnerability is no secret in Beijing. The Hormuz disruption confirmed what Chinese planners had long argued, that dependence on Gulf energy flowing through contested waterways is a strategic liability. The response is to double down on domestic resilience, accelerated LNG infrastructure, expanding pipeline deals with Russia, building storage, and investing in the technologies that reduce oil dependency altogether. The ripple effects extend well beyond energy prices. Ships rerouting around Africa add 10 to 14 days to Asia-Europe voyages, raising costs for every manufactured goods traveling through those lanes. The LNG spot prices in Asia jumped 10 to 15% as buyers scrambled. Qatari LNG shipments, now circumnavigating the continent, are tightening supply for European buyers already watching their storage level. The EU invoked its anti-coercion instrument, a trade protection mechanism, with Spain using it to maintain Iranian oil swaps despite US secondary sanctions pressure. The US released 30 million barrels from a strategic petroleum reserve. Britain and Germany signaled they would follow. These are emergency measures, pressure valves, not solutions. The deeper question is structural. Two scenarios are now on the table. In the first, diplomacy succeeds within weeks. Oil stabilizes around $70 to $80. The shock is short-lived and insurers gradually return. In the second, the crisis drags on for months. Oil reaches $100 per barrel and and 3 to 5 million barrels per day go permanently offline. That path leads to entrenched inflation, demand destruction, and the kind of economic slowdown that central banks have very few tools left to fight. The world tax is a reminder that in a deeply interconnected world, geopolitical risk doesn't stay in the region where it ignites. It travels through pipelines, tanker routes, insurance markets, and consumer prices until it lands quietly in everyone's pockets. For deeper geopolitical analysis and strategic intelligence on emerging global conflicts, visit nexusinsights.org. Thank you for watching and bye for now.